You know, in the software area, we have something called a consistent user interface. The idea is with that consistent user interface, if users understand that, they're able to move from application to application and actually move beyond the software to actually doing the things that they need to do. In task analysis, there is a fundamental principle that also is what I would call a consistent reader interface principle or issue. And that is the establishment of a consistent language for our labeling. You have two major types of content that you're dealing with in a task analysis. The first type of content is tasks, and the second type are concepts. And what we need to do is to be able to clearly distinguish through our labeling a concept from a task. I'd like to suggest to you a standard for you to consider. And that standard is that you use verb-driven labels to distinguish tasks and noun labels to distinguish concepts. Now this might seem rather insignificant to you, but as we deliver this information online or in print or in whatever form, if you can clearly distinguish through that labeling consistently the type of information, you will find that users will recognize that and that they will find that much more helpful as they work and search and actually learn the content that you're delivering to them. So again, you want to use verb-driven labels for tasks. Now, let me see if I can give you an example of what I mean. In a task, you would use a verb-driven label. For example, create a chart of accounts. Those labels need to answer the question, how to create a chart of accounts. Versus a concept answers, what about chart of account creation? You see, you have a noun-driven label, and that describes a concept versus a verb-driven label that would describe a task. This may seem rather insignificant or quite subtle to you, but from a user perspective, from a reader perspective, it is a very powerful principle to employ. And as you conduct your task analysis, you want to employ this principle. So as you're identifying the tasks, use verb labels. And then when you move into the point where you're identifying the concepts, use noun labels.